Now move to school board specific questions. We have 3 questions, all 90-second responses. And I will begin with the place 5 candidates. In your opinion, what should be the primary goal of Smithville school board members?
This is actually a harder question than it sounds like. Because when you think about the goals of a particular board member, it's important to remember that the day-to-day management of the district is the responsibility of the superintendent. The board, as an entity, has the responsibility of oversight. It is the board as a whole that has the authority and not the individual board member. I believe that board members have responsibility to listen to the community and staff with regard to the performance of the district. I believe the primary goal of a school board member should be to effectively communicate with superintendent, fellow board members, and the community. However, when anyone approaches me with a concern, I believe it's my job to follow through. I have the responsibility to facilitate an action by making sure that I understand the issue, communicate it to the administration, and follow up with the individual voicing the concern. If the concern becomes an agenda item at a board meeting, I should listen impartially to all opinions, participate in the debate, and make an informed and public decision. In summary, I believe that a board member should be available, should listen, effectively communicate with all concerned parties, and finally, if a decision of the board is required, vote for all to see. That is my primary goal.
Ms. Parsons.
I do believe that the school board has power to make good things happen. And in saying that, I think the primary goal of a school board member is to see to it that SISD students have all the tools available to receive the very best education obtainable. I went to school here and I know that is possible, and I want that. It involves many aspects that must all work together to help students reach that goal. And I really wish I had a white erase board to draw my little diagram that us teachers are used to. It's very hard not to have that, not to use our hands to talk, but I'll do my best to just get a good visual as I'm talking. So we all know that student success starts at home. You hear that all the time. And perhaps as a school board member, you know, we can work on growing our relationships with the community. You know, that would be a good thing, just to get out there and be visible to everybody in the community. At school, however, and this is where my diagram starts, a student's successful educational career starts with supportive administrators, both for the students and the teachers. Those then lead to excellent/happy teachers, which yield successful students ready to take on challenges ahead of them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Whiting.
It's on. The primary goal of Smithville Independent School District trustees, or any school district trustee, should be to serve the parents, the students, and the taxpayers by ensuring that the school administration spends funds wisely on necessary and meaningful programs that support a balanced educational experience for students. The board should encourage administrative support for the teaching staff so a stable learning environment is maintained in the classrooms. Thank you.
Mr. Davis.
In preparing for tonight, I've reviewed the school board's mission statement, and I agree with it. The school board trustees have a duty to the students and the district to ensure responsible fiscal management and improve academic performance of students. In addition, trustees are to help create an environment where all students can grow academically, emotionally, physically, and socially.
Ms. Williams.
To improve the academic performance of our students and provide effective instructional leadership to prepare our students to be successful in a changing society, And this is one of the things that we wrote the mission and vision statement, and I will stand on it and stand by it. To be a good listener in order to understand the concerns of parents, students, teachers, and our community. To be an effective advocate for this district, I must collaborate ideas and goals in unity with other Board of Trustee members as we promote higher education. Thank you.
Thank you. Second question. Teacher retention has been a problem for our school district. What kind of incentives, other than raising salaries, can you offer teachers to stay in Smithville? Mr. Morgan.
Last year, I reviewed teacher turnover for data for SISD from 2003 through 2015. I've also looked at the teacher attrition data offered by the Texas Education Agency for school districts of our size. In school year 2013 through 2014, the most recent data available from TEA, the teacher turnover rate for districts our size was 21%. Smithville ISD turnover rate, exclusive of retirements, was 20.9% during that same year. Is that a problem? You bet. Is that a problem unique to Smithville? Not by a long shot. A large percentage of both state and SISD turnover is new teachers. Some of that turnover is the choice of the district, but in fact, Smithville cannot compete with larger cities in permanently attracting young and single people. It's also not uncommon to lose teachers due to a shortage of housing and the length of their daily commute. We have tried incentive programs and have increased employee benefits. However, the nature of the teacher contract and the tenure basis of salary administration limits our ability to reward specific employees. It is a topic which the board will continue to address, but I don't believe that there's a silver bullet.
Obviously, Mr. Morgan is responsive when the bell goes off. Ms. Parsons.
Okay. Teacher retention is definitely a recurring problem within our district, and that is a very scary thing. It is definitely unfair to the students if you bring it down to that level. Let me speak from experience as being a teacher here at Smithville ISD. No, I didn't leave the district for any bad reason. Let me put that out there. I left to stay home with our youngest, okay? It is a very good district to work in. I believe that aside from raising teacher salaries, which we would all love to do, it is pertinent that administrators enforce discipline at all levels and that they are consistent in doing so. This helps teachers in several ways. If discipline is enforced and teachers are backed up with the discipline they are enforcing, it not only allows the teachers to have more time to teach, but lets them get that connection with the students that those students need. Students have got to be able to connect with those teachers rather than those teachers having to constantly just be babysitting and redirecting kids. I'm going to start talking a little bit faster because I have a lot to say. I remember the days when teachers came here from BISD and they stayed here rather than moving to BISD because of the money. Believe it or not, it's not always about the money.
Thank you. Mr. Whiting.
Teacher retention. How to retain good teachers without raising salaries. This question could also be phrased as, if pay in Smithville ISD is comparable to teacher compensation in similar districts, why do teachers leave Smithville ISD? Why does anybody change jobs? Frustration, no opportunity for advancement, lack of support from administration, lack of materials to do the job properly, or being overworked. There's that other duties as assigned portion of the job description. More pay in another position is another reason to leave. Hostile work environment or micromanagement of competent employees and discouraging initiative when they want to improve output. Why do people become teachers? Usually because they want to teach, not deal with piles of documentation, unruly students, and a lack of resources. Perhaps this question would best be answered by asking the Smithville ISD school staff.
Thank you. And now the place 6 candidates, Mr. Davis.
I believe we need to offer a supportive teaching environment that includes modern facilities and state-of-the-art technology. We need to show these teachers that we are investing in them. It is concerning that we cannot offer teacher classrooms within the main facility where they teach and that they are being placed in portable buildings. We are asking them to invest in our children, but we are not investing in the facility where they will teach our children. We should also assign teachers a mentor to help familiarize them with the district and provide them support. This would also help create a culture of collaboration between teachers. I believe we should also offer opportunities for professional development and advancement opportunities. Thank you.
Ms. Williams.
I would like to start up a reward program that would acknowledge an outstanding teacher from our district every 6 weeks. I have brought this issue up. I think it was done away years ago, but I think it needs to come back, and we need to enforce giving our teachers a reward for the work that they provide for our students. The reward would include a $100 gift card, and as you know, our teachers spend money, their own money in their classrooms. So this would allocate for some of the things they need in the classroom. An upfront parking spot. Teachers fight for parking in the morning. And their names displayed on the high school marquees for the 6 weeks. This special teacher will have lunch off campus with the superintendent. And we do have organizations that will team up with us to help make this happen for our teachers. And also, I also started collecting box tops to the campus of elementary and Brown Primary, so that I give them to the principals and they distribute them to the teachers. And this helped them do extra stuff in their classroom. Thank you.
Okay, last question for school board trustee candidates. What is the top program you think is needed to support teachers at Smithville ISD? Please give examples. We'll start again with you, Mr. Morgan.
I think most, if not all of us, can look back on our secondary school experience and remember that special teacher that was that undefinable something that inspired us and lifted our horizons well beyond what we had imagined. I have come to believe that standardized testing is methodically destroying that experience. We locally have no choice with regard to standardized testing. And if we fail to meet the measurements, we're subject to the state taking control of our school district and directing its administration. We have no choice but to succeed. The imposed methodology has become, in my eyes, an almost mechanical process that greatly increases a teacher's workload and leaves little room for innovation. We have already implemented a number of mentoring programs both for teachers and for administrators. I support budgeting for further increases in technology to leverage teachers' time, which allows students to work in groups or through online distance learning that facilitates a freer flow of information among the students themselves. Finally, I'm encouraged by the involvement of private companies assisting in our newer classroom offerings that promote students learning a trade or skill in lieu of a 4-year college degree.
Ms. Parsons.
I know Mr. Morgan referred to mentoring programs for both the students and the teachers, and I know that they are out there, but I'm not sure that we're using them to the best of our ability. I think it's working well for the students. I think that there's a wonderful program out there, but I think some of the teachers, and I'm saying this because I've talked with many teachers before tonight's meeting, And the main concern was mentoring not just brand new teachers, but new teachers to the district. So I think instructional leadership is one program that I feel is so important in helping teachers become successful and be able to work as one faculty. We must keep this at the top of the list. Every district runs differently, and every district changes often. So this is not just a one and done deal. It's something that we need to continue to do throughout teachers' careers. It's essential that we have instructional leaders to mold and grow our teachers. Mentoring and support from administrators would also be beneficial for all teachers. I think so often teachers are separated from their administrators, not on purpose, but we all just get very busy. Administrators are very busy. And I feel that sometimes they seem unreachable for whatever reason. But if we could have our administrators involved in mentoring our teachers as well, I think this would help form a better relationship and more respect between the two of them and make them more willing to work for each other. If you respect someone, it is very hard to let them down.
Mr. Whiting.
Hello. I'm not that familiar with the Smithville ISD teacher programs yet. That being said, and in the light of the previous question about teacher retention, during my time at the City of Austin, the Human Resources Department was working on a 360 process improvement plan. The plan was to allow the performance review of supervisors and administrators by the rank and file employees. Issues affecting job efficiency, personality conflict could be investigated using multiple testimonies from employees. Abusive, corrupt, or ineffective staff members could be reassigned, retained, or terminated. I believe this was to be an ongoing process independent of the employee grievance process. If a similar program is in place at Smithville ISD, it should be considered for enhancement. If there is no such program, the board should consider one. Teacher morale might improve with this direct line of communication, along with the retention of teachers if there are no pay raises in the future. Thank you.
Place 6 candidates, Mr. Davis.
I think technology programs are needed to support our teachers and at the same time helps familiarize our students with different programs available in their future vocation or profession. All of the major technology companies provide numerous educational programs that help support teachers in the educational environment. One of those programs is Connect Ed by Apple. I think we should take advantage of these programs as much as possible.
Ms. Williams.
As you know, 2 of my daughters are educators as well, and I listened to them, and I thought this pilot program for rookie teachers would be a great idea. This will allow veteran teachers to be assigned to mentor and to monitor teachers in their classroom. This will create a safety net for new teachers to meet once a month to collaborate issues and concerns. It also helped to establish a trustworthy co-workers. This program will not only provide guidance and support, perhaps instill loyalty in first-year teachers, but it will also foster leadership skills in our veteran teachers. Thank you.
Thank you all. Candidates, please put down your pencils and close your test books. We have completed the structured portion of the program. I promise you that you would have a chance to give a closing statement and cover any issues that you may feel like you didn't quite get to. Each candidate will have 90 seconds for a closing statement. If anybody needs to get up and run around the room a couple times, I'll allow a little time for that. Mr. Green doesn't seem to be interested in running around the room, so Mr. Green, please begin with your closing statement. We have 90 seconds. Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming and listening to us. I appreciate it. Just to kind of touch base, I'd like to see changes in these cities, but I don't mean the brick and mortar downtown. I want to leave the downtown district alone. There's a lot of empty buildings downtown that owners have inherited and they're sitting on them and doing nothing with them. There's no for sale signs in front of them. They're not trying to rent them out. And I'm very, I believe in private property very strongly. But I also feel that when you have a building downtown, that you've joined a league or whatever you want to call it, of retail establishment that is to help the town grow by generating sales. And I have a plan, I won't share it here, I have a plan for those empty buildings to either get them on the market or to get them rented or to work out some kind of offset of general average tax base that the town generates and tack it on at the end of the year. There's no sense in those buildings sitting there rotting, and it makes the town look half empty. Well, it is, and there's just no need for it. I just have a lot of things I want to do, but mainly I want to get inside there and see what's been going on. I've had a funny feeling about this
Thank you, Mr.
ever
Green.
since I've lived here, and thank you all.
And our second candidate for mayor, Mr. Saunders.
I just wanted to say that tonight's not about me or my opponent or anybody up here. Tonight is about all of you and who you want to represent you in the future. We have some real big decisions that are coming up, and I do ask for your vote on May 7th. I just want to say thank you again to all of you in attendance tonight. Thank you to moderator Riwi for being our moderator, and thank you to April Daniels and the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this important event. I'm happy to see so much participation in this year's municipal elections. I hope the community stays interested after the elections, and that the seats are full in the council chambers every month, because they're not. I want to thank you for allowing me to serve you over the last 2 terms in office and humbly ask for your vote this election. Be sure to vote early. You can vote tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Early voting is going on. On a personal note, I want to say I am sorry and grieve with all of you on 7th Street, McSweeney, Garwood, and throughout the town impacted by the flooding. My grandparents' home was among those that flooded. As you all know, when something happens here, it's not just happening to someone in this community. We're all family and we're all friends and we're all in this together. We cry together, laugh together, and we have to work together. I'm young, willing, energized, and able to work for you. The next few years will be even more exciting for Smithville, and I'm looking forward to it. Every day I wake up as your city council representative is a dream come true. Help keep my dreams alive and vote for me, Scott Saunders Jr., for mayor of this great town, the heart of the megalopolis. Thank you all, and God bless you, God bless Texas, and God bless Smithville.
Thank you. Ms. Holt.
April, thank you. Since I've kind of run a grassroots rather than a moneyed campaign, I've had a lot of opportunity to talk to people. And the consensus of their concerns seems to be they want a good steward of their interests. I promise to be that steward, because we all want a more prosperous and better and more thriving Smithville, and I will strive to do that. Principles are important to me. I do have an independent voice, though. I'm not beholden to anyone. And I would say I don't mind asking questions. My background would certainly speak to that. I bring a different perspective to the table. And having attended nearly every city council meeting for the past 2 years, I've learned that there aren't enough questions asked. So I'm the question girl. I will appreciate your vote sometime before May 7th. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Mr. Sawyer.
Well, I too would like to thank the Smithville Chamber for putting on this forum, and also like to thank each of you for attending, and hopefully we were able to help you make some sort of informed decision at the polls. So in conclusion, not only am I a resident of this community, but I'm also a business owner. As a resident, it's in my best interest to work on policies that protect the landscape of the town while preserving the services that the residents want and expect. As a business owner, I would strive to make Smithville a tourist destination, bring investments into the local economy, and help ensure that we keep and support all existing businesses while attracting new businesses to help create a sustainable economy. In general, as both a resident and business owner for over 20 years, I understand where the community has been and have the foresight to help guide it in the right direction by driving economic development and helping Smithville keep its distinctive small town character. I have made a large investment and commitment to Smithville, and I want to take the town in a direction where others will want to do the same thing. I would like to be part of that planning process, so I'm asking for you to vote Troy Stroyer, Smithville City Council, Place 5. Thank you.
School Board, Place 5, Mr. Morgan.
As you may know, Smithville ISD is considering an upgrade of its infrastructure, which will require a bond election to approve that upgrade. We have not been able to discuss that issue tonight, but it is complex, and I believe will require us all to choose or prioritize among a number of options. This is not simply a question of bricks and mortar. There are educational issues such as grade realignment. There are health, safety, and scheduling issues involving student movement throughout the district. There are design issues which must address the effect of curriculum changes on the physical structures such as science labs and space to accommodate career and technology classes. I understand that this is an issue of importance to the community. As a board, we have discussed a number of alternatives. To gather community input, we have organized a citizens committee to review options and make recommendations to the board. Their first meeting is this Thursday night, and I expect a report in July. I would very much like to have the opportunity to continue my involvement and to be part of the final decision regarding any bond issue put before the citizens of Smithville. So tonight, I thank you for being here, and I ask you for your support and to help me provide you with a sensible, justifiable, and effective educational environment for our children.
Ms. Parsons.
For those of you that don't know me, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You know, I don't have a long, glorified list of meetings that I've attended or committees that I've sat on, but I'm ready. And I can tell you this, I'm a mom with 2 children in the school district currently and 1 coming up in another year. I'm a former school teacher of Smithville ISD, and I'm a long-life resident of Smithville. If I make a commitment to something, it is because I believe in its purpose, and I believe in Smithville ISD and its future. I want SISD to be the district that people want to move their kids to. I want our children to be given the best education that we can possibly give them. I want teachers to interview for a job here, not just to go through the legality of it, but to have to fight for a job because there are many applicants wanting in. I want teachers to teach here because they want to teach here. We should all have great pride in our school district, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that movement. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your votes.
Mr. Whiting.
As I said before, I've been in the classroom. I know what teachers have to deal with, at least before the introduction of computers in the classroom. Students have not changed that much. I know what it's like to see the light go on in their eyes when they get it in a lesson. I also know some of the heartbreak that some of the students drag into class at times. It can affect their behavior and performance. Each classroom has a personality, as each student has a different learning style. That's where teaching becomes an art. The art of finding the key that unlocks curiosity, interest, and the learning process in a student's mind. I am concerned that centrally generated curricula may limit classroom dynamics to rote learning and indoctrination, not education. For example, I was informed that cursive writing had been eliminated from the curriculums in school. No cursive writing means no signatures. A signature is fundamental in many legal processes, documents, and a person's identity. Writing your name in longhand, as it used to be called, allows style and personality to be introduced. much more than a thumbprint or a block-lettered ID. What else is being removed from our children's education since the keyboard pushed the fountain pen aside? With the intent to modernize and to bring education in the 21st century, it's the duty of elected school trustees to ensure that taxpayer funds are being spent on effective education and not the newest new thing from Region 13. Thank you very much.
Place 6, Mr. Davis.
I would just like to thank y'all all for coming and appreciate it. And I would appreciate your vote on May 7th. Thank you.
Ms. Williams.
First of all, I'd like to take this time to say that during the month of January, it was board appreciation. And if I tell you, the kids at our school knew me well than I knew my own self, because the things they wrote about me, you have to know me in order to write about me. And so that is the reason I'm fighting to stay on this school board. Not only that, if you vote for me to remain in place 6 as a board of trustees, I will do everything in my power to continue advocating on behalf of our students and our teachers. I will ensure you in this community, I will work harder to establish quality education so that no child is left behind.
I'd like to thank all the candidates for coming out and participating today and preparing all of their answers. I'd like to thank all of you and the others that didn't come tonight who submitted the nearly 100 questions that were received, all of which have been provided in their entirety to the candidates so they can see all the questions that all of you wanted to ask them. I'd like to thank Brian Rewe, who came out and served as our moderator. Let's give him a round of applause. Did you hear that? He was going to give himself two minutes. I want to thank J.W. Breeden and Breeden Productions Library for coming out and providing our sound tonight. Thank you very much, J.W. And I'd also like to thank the Smithville Public Library for coming out and recording the entire session, which will be available on their website, and we will link to it through our Facebook page and put it on our chamber website as well. I'm sure the city will be glad to link to it as well through the city Facebook. And having said all that, thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Go out and vote. Thanks, guys.